Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to solve a question from Quadratics topic which had appeared in Cambridge 9709 Pure Mathematics 1 paper from May-June 2025, and this is taken from variant 1. Now this question has two sub-questions. So let us start with the first sub-question now. The equation of a curve is 2x square minus kxy plus 2 equal to 0, and the equation of a line is y is equal to px plus 3, where k and p are constants. Given that k is equal to 2 and p is equal to 11, find the coordinates of the points of intersection of the curve and the line. So here we have been given an equation of a curve and equation of a line. So let us see that the curve looks this way, for example, and let us see that this has been intersected by a line this way. Now in this question, we have to find out the coordinates of the points of intersection. That is the coordinates of this point, that is x and y coordinate, and the x and y coordinate of this point. And here we have been given the value of k as 2 and value of p as 11. So the first step is to substitute the value of y, that is px plus 3, in this equation of curve. So we get 2x square minus k times x times. Now y has been replaced as px plus 3 plus 2 equal to 0. Now in the next step, we have plugged in the values of k and p. So 2x square minus 2 times x times 11x plus 3 plus 2 equal to 0. Now we have expanded this bracket, giving us 2x square minus 2x times 11x gives us minus 22x square, minus 2x times 3 gives us minus 6x plus 2 equal to 0. Now adding the like terms together, so 2x square minus 22x square gives us minus 20x square minus 6x plus 2 equal to 0. Now since x square term is negative, let us take all these terms on the other side of the equal to sign to make the x square term positive. So negative 20x square on the other side of equal to sign becomes positive 20x square, negative 6x becomes positive 6x, and positive 2 becomes negative 2 equal to 0. Now here all the terms are divisible by 2. So here we are going to divide 20 by 2, 6 by 2, negative 2 by 2, and 0 also by 2. So this is going to give us 10x square plus 3x negative 1 equal to 0. Now once we have simplified this equation, let us factorize it to get the values of x. So in this method we are going to multiply the coefficient of x square, which is 10 in this case, with the constant, that is negative 1. So this gives us 10 times negative 1 is negative 10. Now we have to find out two factors of negative 10 in such a way that when you multiply them you should get negative 10, and when you add them or subtract them you should get positive 3, that is the middle term. So the two factors we have here are 5 and negative 2. Because when you multiply them you get negative 10, and when you add them you get positive 3. Now for the factorization, you can also use the quadratic formula. So you can choose any method for the factorization here. So let us write this equation in terms of its factors now. So here the equation becomes 10x square plus 5x minus 2x minus 1 equal to 0. Now let us group the terms. Let us group the first two terms and let us group the last two terms. Now in the first group, 5x is a common factor. So we have taken it out, and inside the bracket remains 2x plus 1. Now from the second group, negative 1 is a common factor, so we have taken it out, and inside the bracket remains 2x plus 1 equal to 0. So here we get two factors, that is 5x minus 1 and 2x plus 1 equal to 0. Now let us equate each of these factors equal to 0. So here we get 5x minus 1 equal to 0 and 2x plus 1 equal to 0. Now here let us take negative 1 on the other side of equal to sign. So we get 5x equal to 1. Now dividing both the sides by 5, we get x equal to 1 over 5. Now repeating the same steps, let us take positive 1 on the other side of equal to sign. So we get 2x equal to negative 1. Now dividing both the sides by 2, we get x equal to negative 1 over 2. Now once we have got the values of x, let us find out the values of y by using equation of the line, that is y equal to px plus 3 or y is equal to 11x plus 3. So here we get So the equation of line is y is equal to 11x plus 3. Now when x equal to 1 over 5, we get y is equal to 11 times. Now in place of x, we have replaced 1 over 5 plus 3. So this is going to give us the value of y as 26 over 5. Now for the second value of x, that is negative 1 over 2, we get y is equal to 11 times negative 1 over 2 plus 3, and this is going to give us negative 5 over 2. So here the coordinates of the points of intersection of the curve and the line are when x is 1 over 5, y is 26 over 5, and when x is negative 1 over 2, the y coordinate is negative 5 over 2. So this is going to be our answer. Now let us move on to the B question. Given instead that P is equal to 4, find the set of values of K for which the curve and the line do not intersect. So here we have to reconsider the equation of the curve and the line, and in place of P we have to replace 4, and then we have to find out set of values of K. We'll come to this point later, that is do not intersect. So let us begin with the equation of curve and equation of line simplification. So the equation of curve was 2x square minus kxy plus 2 equal to 0. Now in place of y, we have replaced the equation of line, that is px plus 3. Now in place of p, we are going to replace 4. So the equation now becomes 2x square minus k times x times 4x plus 3 plus 2 equal to 0. Now let us expand this bracket. So we get 2x square minus kx times 4x gives us minus 4 times k times x square, and minus kx times plus 3 gives us minus 3kx plus 2 equal to 0. Now these two are like terms because they both have x square as a coefficient. So we have taken x square as a common factor out, and inside the bracket remains 2 minus 4k minus 3kx plus 2 equal to 0. Now this represents a quadratic equation with the highest power of x as 2. And once we have got this quadratic equation, let us focus on this line given, that is the curve and the line do not intersect. So for this condition, we have the formula for discriminant as b square minus 4ac is less than 0. Now here a represents the coefficient of x square, which is 2 minus 4k in this case. So here we have written a is equal to 2 minus 4k. B is the coefficient of x, which is minus 3k over here. And c is a constant, which is plus 2 in this case. Now once we have got the values of a, b and c, we are going to plug these values in this formula. So b square now becomes minus 3k the whole square minus 4 times ac becomes 4 times 2 minus 4k times 2 is less than 0. Now here this power 2 gets distributed to negative 3 as well as k. So negative 3 square becomes 9k square. Now let us multiply negative 4 with 2 first. So that gives us negative 8. So we are going to multiply negative 8 with this bracket now. So negative 8 times 2 gives us negative 16, and negative 8 times negative 4k gives us positive 32k is less than 0. Now once we have got this equation, let us rearrange it, giving us 9k square plus 32k minus 16 is less than 0. Now this represents a quadratic equation, and since we are trying to get the values of k, let us factorize this equation. So here we get 9k square plus 36k minus 4k minus 16 is less than 0. Now grouping the first two terms and grouping the last two terms and taking out the common factor from the first group, we get 9k times k plus 4, and from the second group we have taken negative 4 as a common factor out, and inside the bracket is k plus 4 is less than 0. So here we get two factors, that is 9k minus 4 and k plus 4 is less than 0. Now once we have got these two factors, we have to find out the set of values of k in which the line and the curve do not intersect. So for this, since this represents a quadratic equation and the coefficient of k square is positive, that is positive 9, this is going to be a U-shaped parabola this way. And let us draw a line and let us mark the values of k now. So let us assume that 9k minus 4 is equal to 0. So that will give us the value of k as positive 4 over 9. So let us say that it is going to be over here. And this is the center point of this curve, that is 0. and this k plus 4 equal to 0 gives us the value of k as negative 4. So that will be over here. Now once we have got this, since the factors are less than 0, we have to look at the part of the graph which is below this line. And this is the part which is below the line, and this part lies in between negative 4 and 4 over 9. So this is the region we are looking for the set of values of k. And this can be written as negative 4 is less than k is less than 4 over 9, since this region is in between these 2 points. So this is going to be our answer. I hope you have understood all the steps and liked the video. And if you found this video useful, then check out this playlist where you'll find more examples of this kind. And if you're liking my videos, like, share and subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching.